G'day guys, just thought we'd do a wee video introducing you who haven't had a look at this before to Predict Wind, which is the software I like to use for our weather routing. The other one that I mentioned, of course, was Windy, but this is the one that I use. And yeah, just thought I'd give you a quick run through what sort of how it looks and what we're looking for when we talk about finding a good weather window. So yeah, just quickly, there are different types of forecasting you can get, be it wind, rain, waves, etc., etc. This is currently the wind view. The other options are not there. Here we go. These are your other options here. So the current wind. If we want to look at the other one that we do look at is of course the waves, and that gives you an indication of what the swells are doing. We like these lovely colours over here. We don't like these angry looking scary colours over here. So you can see as I move my mouse around a little time. So that's got a wave height of 6 or 7 meters. But over here we've got a wave height of 1.5 meters. And you can see these dark blue colours are even more friendly. So that's if we're looking at the waves, but we're going to be looking at the wind today. So I'll close that down. The other thing we have, of course, is within the wind is different types of models. It's these things here. These are different algorithms looking at the data and coming up with different scenarios depending on how those specific algorithms are set up. In the short term, they all tend to read pretty similar, up to 3 days, and give a pretty reasonable indication of what you could expect next 3 days. As it gets further out, they become a little bit less varied. They're doing a bit more guessing with their mathematics. So they'll get a little bit less predictable. But that's why we like having all of them to choose from. We can then go through them all and see how they compare, and then make our deductions based on the most common forecasting we're getting across them all. Okay, so specifically regarding a trip, there are obviously 2 parts of a trip. One is starting in Tauranga heading towards Opua, and then the second part is Opua heading towards Tonga Tapu up here. We're looking for wind that is 90 degrees to us or more, ideally. We don't sail so well in our catamaran with wind in front of us, and also it becomes a lot less comfortable. Fair winds and following seas is what we always wish for. So what we're looking for within the weather pattern is a weather pattern weather system that's going to give us a nice push north of Tonga. Generally, we don't sail in a straight line because of what weather patterns, weather systems look like. You're going to be either doing a banana this way or a banana out that way, depending on whether you're looking at riding a high or a low. Generally, if we're heading north, what we're actually looking for is the back of a cyclone. So a cyclone is obviously going clockwise, and we're looking at catching the back of that, and that's going to give us our best possible scenario to take us up north. If we've got an anticyclone or a high, obviously the wind's going the wrong direction, and is not the scenario we're after. So we're actually literally looking for a passing storm to depart in. So often it'll look like we're completely mad because a storm may have just swept through and dumped a whole lot of nasty weather on Aotearoa, and then we look at sailing out into it. But you'll see as we go through our current weather situation, that if we get to so this Thursday next week, then you've got a passing low, and that's what I'm talking about, catching this kind of action here. That's what we're looking for. So in this scenario, we've actually got another low forming in the Tasman behind us, and that's giving us even more following winds to to ride as well. So if we're looking at from today, for example, we've actually got some pretty nice winds taking us north. So if we were to leave today, we'd have a good weather pattern for catching the wind and sailing ourselves up to Opua, and we'd be there by say Friday. So say we were going to leave Opua Friday or Saturday and try and head to Tonga, then you can see that our winds are on our beam, and a bit more front of our beam. So that's going to be a hard slog, uncomfortable, and potentially motor sailing, or we'll be heading further north, and riding it, that wind in that direction. So if we did that, then we'll be chugging along. We'll be heading we're still heading pretty much north up here. But then, as you can see, we've now got this tropical cyclone forming and bearing down upon us. Now you're talking about a week out. So, so for example, we were to leave Opua today, then in a week's time we would be pretty much in the thick of that. If it was nice and predictable, we could aim for the top of it, and it could pull us through. But this far out, I wouldn't want to be sailing towards a tropical cyclone, because you would be rolling the dice on which direction it's going to travel in, and whether it's going to maintain its enthusiasm or become a bit more angry. So possible, but a better scenario would be to leave later. So say we could leave at the end of the weekend, Sunday, Monday. You'd be heading pretty hard north at the moment, or you'd be motor sailing into that. Then you've got, we'd be having that lully period there with very light winds. From here though, you could definitely start to catch some of that tropical cyclone and have that pull you through. Now you've got some good winds taking you around the corner, towards Tonga. And again, these are all good. That's now you've been some pretty good following seas now. So now looking out to not this weekend, but the weekend after. So that's not too shabby. Now, if we were to leave even later, so if we were to let this cyclone do its thing, become more predictable, so we'll leave midweek Wednesday, so it's a week away from today. We'll have some lovely weather to set off with, often, and not too much wind draw. The first wind that we'll be getting would be on the beam. As you can see, it's going to be pushing us north. Now you've got some nice following winds to be catching, and as we're cruising along, so we'll be probably somewhere around here about now. You've got some nice following winds there, and then the second low system forming behind us in the Tasman Sea is going to follow us through and keep on giving us nice winds pushing us in the direction we want to go. And there you go. That's now a fortnight away. So yeah. So in that scenario, say we were to leave. So I'd say from today, we've got some good winds to get us up to Opua. We'll hang around for the weekend and look at leaving probably Wednesday, if not Thursday, next week. So in a week's time, and then that would get us through through to Tonga, and it will take us more than a week to get there. So they'll be talking about 20 days from now, really, to be arriving in Tonga. So that's how we have to manage our time frame. So leaving Tuesday, Wednesday next week would be definitely a good option. However, we are talking about predicting what's going to happen with these tropical cyclones a week out, and they will change. They'll do something quite different to what they're doing right now. So yeah, day by day you need to reassess, and this might change direction and hook in even more. It might increase in intensity, or it might fizzle out and turn into nothing. So that's where you just keep on checking every day and tracking it until you can see that you've got at least 5 days of weather looking like it's going to be playing the right game and doing what you want to do. So anyway, that's a quickish introduction to the weather planning, and give you an idea of what we're looking for and the kind of timings that we need to allow for to get us where we need to go comfortably and safely. All good.